Heidi ho, everybody, and welcome to the Magic Bringers Rising episode for the week of January 16th through the 22nd. And stay tuned for this episode to find out what this amazing new moon energy is going to bring for us this week and all the other shifts that are coming to support our most naturally aligned, beautiful, intuitive, divine self and our awakening into that. Welcome to Magic Bringers Rising Chats, a show by Super Secret Powers. I'm your host, Lindsay Baldessano, and let's get ready for a dose of energy healing, channeled guidance, and humor to keep your intuitive flow open and your roots grounded so you can lead the life of healing, spiritual purpose, and magic that you want. So, how was last week for you? Let me tell you, we've been sick here. So it's been just so slow moving. And we've been tired and we've been catching up on a lot of sleep and a lot of things that we wanted to get done, but things, just weren't going as quickly as we wanted this year. Not that we were pushing, we really weren't. But then all of a sudden over the weekend, on that Friday when, Mars finally went direct, things started shifting again. The world felt a little lighter and things were moving and flowing in a different way again. And that's just the nature of these transits and these temporary time periods where we have a certain type of energy that we need to learn to work with. Because, this isn't about, being stuck in a certain energy. It isn't about being punished. It isn't about even, feeling run over or in that kind of pity me, I'm a victim of Mercury retrograde kind of stuff. It really isn't. It's about learning to work with the energy that is present. And, it can be very personal and there can be like generational things that come up in this, not just family generational, but collective generational. And I think we'll certainly see a mix up with that later this year in March when we start seeing a whole new generation come in for Pluto in Pisces. Um, so it's going to be a very interesting year, a year when I think we're really going to be able to see us, the essential stuff, or us, the essential us, the soul self, really in distinct comparison to us during, all these different shifts and all these different energies that are provided for us. But this week we should see even more coming back to soul and coming back to who we are in reflection to the collective, to our family groups, to our friend groups, to our communities, because this is like an Aquarius week. And and we have Pluto being in alignment with the sun on the 16th. That's Monday. So that's like we feel like our transformations are going to be fueled. We've got, I'll say gusto. We've got some gusto to do a deeper delve. On Wednesday, we have Mercury going direct in Gemini, so we're going to feel like we have options, that we can explore our options. My husband is upstairs, and my dogs are like, oh my God, I hear somebody upstairs. So they've been like this all afternoon, so please pardon us here. And on Saturday the 21st, we have the new moon in Aquarius, which is also a master 11 day. So it is a day when, it is a weekend where we're going to feel like we can just move forward and maybe even blast through some stuff. And well, okay, combined It's like a combined energy for the 22nd and the 23rd, because we have the new moon, um, which always kind of lingers, a day before the new moon and a day after the new moon. That moon energy does that. Then we have Uranus going direct in Taurus, and we have the Aquarian stellium. So, and we have that green comet still. We'll have that green comet for quite a while. Um, it moves into it's at its closest point to Earth on February 2nd. So it is still increasing in influence. And then it'll drop down below our horizon, and it'll be only visible in the in the southern hemisphere. Still around, still an Earth influence, or an influence on Earth even after it drops, into the southern hemisphere. But it might kind of slip out of our out of our minds here in the northern hemisphere a little bit more. So all of this change, all of this energy of revolution and rebellion and shakeups. But I have a feeling like it doesn't feel like a bad thing right now. Right now it feels like yes, this is what we need. Yes, this is something we can all get on board with in our lives. And yes, now we can finally drop some of the stuff we've been carrying around. I mean, it's an excellent energy for doing clearing, way opening, block removal. But because there's so much Aquarius energy, it's also a good time to get in touch with, your inner sense of joy and giving yourself permission to feel more joy again. Really experiencing what practical harmony might mean. Because, it doesn't always mean just serenity and never any conflict. Harmony is when people come together, and that isn't always the smoothest process. But it doesn't have to be rocky, and it doesn't have to be full of anger or dispute. It could just be coming back to where we all do agree on something, finding that common ground again, which, is a lot of talk. A lot of talk and a lot of vulnerability about what we really feel and what we want to stand for from, the inside out. And you could also be thinking about advancement. Now, hippie, like that hippie kind of Aquarius energy and advancement, it might not be advancement like you think of it, like going to school and getting a degree per se, but it could be, a furthering of a cause, a furthering of your own sense of aligned self, this empowerment that you can create change, that kind of advancement coming from the inside out again. Okay. So it is a great time to start making plans, because you'll have like a month, 3 weeks at this point, before we start seeing more shifting energy. And we won't have any retrogrades starting next week after Uranus goes direct. Ha. Ha. Enjoy it while you can. Because this year is full of changing stuff. And like I said at the beginning, this isn't a bad thing. This isn't like, oh, we're going to be punished with this energy and it's going to be so hard and grueling. It's just going to make you realize different things about yourself and your life and the way you've been moving forward and the things you've been carrying with you. I mean, this is that kind of year where we're going inside out and we're looking at who we really are versus everything we thought we had to be this year. And it's going to be personally, I think, big for a lot of people, and it's going to be awakenings. And there's so much energy around, the empathetic heart and feeling oneness and intuition and all of this very soul expressive stuff, our magic and who we are. It's just going to take some wakings up, some realizations, some droppings of addictions, denial, illusions, ego trips for us to get there. So let it be a gentle awakening. And that is the theme of our light language. So before we get to light language time, I do want to remind everybody that I do have the 2023 Astro Review still on sale. It'll come down in a week. It's only $7 for like over 20 pages of all kinds of good stuff. And no, I don't even have it. It's in the other room because I was using it. I was using it for myself to, write and plan out these videos. Um, but it goes in depth, further in depth than any of the reports that I looked at to even try and begin putting together something that big. I go deep into the number 7 energy and what that means and the medicine that it's going to bring and that you can, work with to get more in alignment with that sacred number 7 energy. It goes into the planetary transitions for the year, the big ones, especially, Pluto going into Pisces and Saturn Saturn going into Pisces. I'm sorry, Pluto going to Aquarius and Saturn going into Pisces and the two transits of Jupiter, like, and the medicine ideas and concepts and work that will put you in more alignment with that energy so that you can move forward even during those times. And of course, it has the Mercury retrogrades. Of course, it has the two eclipse seasons. And let me tell you, this one that's coming up in April is going to be a big one. And it's tied to changes, a year from now because of the nature of that eclipse in April. So, I mean, this is like big energetic information and messages that you need to not just plan your year, but take a look at the trajectory of where you're going like 2, 3 years from now because of how all of these energetic epochs are kind of tied together. And that's in there. And I made it nice and clear and easy. And I made a little yearly calendar that has like the 4 kind of distinct energy periods all marked out. So you can kind of plan around those or plan with those just quick at a glance. And I have special dates and special minor transits that will help also influence, you know, what's coming through. All of these messages for us to be able to move forward, to be able to lighten our load and to be able to avoid hitting those rock bottom moments, and all that for $7, over 20 pages of material. But you can find the link for that either in the show notes down at the bottom if you're on YouTube, or if you're seeing this on Facebook, then you can see it in the post description. All right, on to light language. So, welcome to light language time. But I have no idea what's going to come forward other than I have this very strong feeling that the intention of gentle awakenings is going to be something that's very much needed. So we're going to start with that and just go from there. But we are double fisting the selenite today because gentle, because intuitive take on this and what gentle means is, really tuning into a much higher frequency, idea, realization of what's important, of the higher vibration idea of who we are as divine beings, as agents of change on this planet, and really kind of holding that as our archetype, at least for these next 2, 3 weeks. Really letting that sink in. Because when it's our choice to walk away from things, it goes a lot easier. We're not like, kicking and screaming and being dragged toward change. So we're going to plug right into the collective. So just give me a couple minutes before you might feel the transmission really taking a hold, and we'll go from there. Because we're going to be working at this from a collective Akashic point of view. Stai caio. I invite you this week to enjoy the experience of us and you sharing new eyes and new ears on your 3D world of dynamic change. May you hear differently, may you see differently, may you feel your own heart and your own integrity beating stronger. Thank you for participating in this with us. All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, if this resonated with you, if you felt any deep shifts, please talk about it in the comments with us. We'll certainly chat with you. And of course, stay tuned for more from Super Secret Powers and next week's Magic Bringers Rising episode. And enjoy this new moon. And don't forget to like and share Super Secret Powers on your favorite platforms. Let's get this message out there. Let's make this awakening happen.